Oh, here. Yeah, oh, congrats, man, my Honda. I worked with him so many times, long years ago, long time ago. And also, my hero, and also my friend, dear friend, Dave Cortese. So now, can I ask people who see, yourself is the most beautiful, can you come up here? So, lady who in Vietnamese traditional dress, can you come up here so we can give our hero a very big hug and a very, warm, hand welcome. Anh Hồng. Xin mời bác Lộc và thành viên hội đồng quản trị, xin mời Just Tuệ, bác Nguyễn Đức Cường. So, I cannot say on the behalf of the whole big community, but I know everyone always appreciate what you did for our community. So, congrats, man, my Honda. Congrats, woman Joe Laughton, already helped us for a long time fighting for human rights in Vietnam and save a lot of people from the Vietnamese communist prison. So they are our hero. But I want to recognize special.
Now. And ladies and gentlemen on the stage, please stand up for Congresswoman Anna Ashus and Congresswoman Zoe Loughlin. The special recognition of human rights and humanitarian efforts will go to Congresswoman Zoe Loughlin and Congresswoman Anna Ashus. As longtime members of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, Reps Loughlin and Ashus have been strong advocates for human rights and religious freedom around the world. We are fortunate to have these two leaders to represent and continue to fight for our community here in the Bay Area. Thank you so much for your effort. Yes, please give us a big hand for the two congresswomen. So we're going to present one set for each of you, Congresswoman Zoe Loughlin and Anna Ashus, and we ask if you can please bring one back to former President Jimmy Carter as well as Mrs. John McCain. And we also have a book for you, Congresswoman Mike Honda. Thank you for coming. Yeah, thank you very much. So we're going to move on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, 47 years ago, there's a toddler boy who came to America with his parents with nothing but a dream for freedom and human rights. But today, he's now his parent proud, our community pride, and new elect Sacramento District Attorney, first Vietnamese American that elect to this very important position. Please help me welcome Mr. Thiên Hồ or Hồ Quang Thiên Vũ. Vỗ tay lớn một tí xin được không ạ? Cảm ơn.
Today is Thank You America Day. And when we look and when we celebrate Thank You America, I want to talk about two themes. One is the idea of giving, and the other is gratitude. Someone once said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Let me say that again. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. 46 years ago, many of you know, many of us left Vietnam, and I left Vietnam as a child with my parents on a fishing boat. Spent 6 months in a refugee camp because my parents, like so many of you, wanted to give us a new life. And while we were in that refugee camp, this country, this wonderful, beautiful country, gave us an opportunity of new life and new freedom. When we arrived in this country, I didn't know how to speak English. I learned how to speak English because I wanted to give back to this country and to say thank you and gratitude and to show that gratitude. And I became a prosecutor to give back and to serve our community with our friends in public safety. And I am fortunate enough that earlier this year was elected as the District Attorney of Sacramento County. The first Vietnamese American Southeast Asian to be elected to that position. Out of 2,400 elected DAs in this country, only 5 are of Asian descent. And so it's giving back to the community and showing the gratitude. And when we talk about giving and gratitude, I want to recognize some of the people up here. I want to recognize my good friend Mike Honda, former congressman, who early on supported so many of us in the community. I want to thank Zoe Lofgren, U.S. Congresswoman. And I remember going to the Tech Festival over in the fairground and she was always there. And I want to thank our Congresswoman, Anna Eshoo, as well. Thank you so much for what you do. And I want to thank also Congressman Ro Khanna, who couldn't be here, but I also want to thank some of the great leaders from San Jose and Santa Clara County. State Senator Dave Cortese. And Supervisor Otto Lee, who's here as well. And I want to thank my good friend, Supervisor and candidate for Mayor, Cindy Chavez, who has been an advocate for our community. And so it's the idea of giving and gratitude. Thank you so much.
You know, went out town in the past, I often share with my fellow Vietnamese about how beautiful San Francisco with Golden Bridge and how amazing Silicon Valley with high-tech technology and innovation. But nowadays, actually every time when I'm out of town and when I happen to talk to my friends, I always talk about Vietnamese American Services Center. How wonderful it is, how unique that is, how that's the only one kind in the world.
Facility. I remember volunteering with the Red Cross to assist the new refugees, and of course that was just the beginning. You know, I think back on the people, because they're policy positions, but it's always about the individuals. I think about the Air Force, the Vietnamese Air Force heroes who came to the United States. They had been in camps, they had been tortured, and when they came to San Jose, they needed medical care, both for their physical and their emotional damage that had been done to them. So we were able to do that. And then to free people who had been stuck in Vietnam. I remember Major An, who lost both of his arms in a helicopter as he was trying to save American soldiers. You know, when he was stuck in Vietnam, those soldiers whose life he saved, they rallied round to make sure that his life would be saved, and it was. I remember when Jane Hope interviewed to say that Quang Do, who had been arrested in Vietnam for what he said about freedom in San Jose. You can't do that. The communists can't do that. And I remember reaching across the aisle to then Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, who went to Vietnam, the Asian Finance Conference, and told the Vietnamese communists that he would not speak to them. America would not do a deal with them if they didn't release Mr. Doe. I remember going with Nancy Pelosi to Vietnam and meeting with dissidents fighting for freedom, even though the communists had taken over their country. I remember handing a list to the communist leaders in Hanoi, insisting that these political prisoners be make up our society. And I'm so glad that Dave, Cortese, and Cindy Chavez have been recognized, because were it not for them, we would not have the Vietnamese American Service Center. This wouldn't exist. And so what people do to recognize the farm community does matter. I would be remiss if I didn't say how excited I am that Councilwoman by ourselves is going to insist that the Vietnamese American community be consulted for anything further relative to the Thank You America monument. That is so important, and I'm so grateful to her. I just want to stop and say this, that my commitment to this community goes back a long ways, but it doesn't stop today. It is going.
Nam, and you know, your point that you raised, which is you're saying to us, honor us further by protecting and building out the Vietnamese History Museum. And the answer to that is yes, that I will stay committed to doing that. And the Vietnamese American Service Center, let me just say this first today, thank you for all the leadership you played on that, but more importantly to all of you, that building is intended to honor the elders.
By building the Vietnamese American Service Center, the VASC, that we are all able to be so proud of. And I just want to say thank you for your leadership, both of you, for making this happen. And of course, every year IRCC right here partners with so many organizations to host this Thank You America, Come On America events, right? Because gratitude is something that is so important. We so often forget to thank those who has helped us in so many ways. And these are the heroes who's up here and really honored to be up here to be receiving and to send this gratitude. Remember, go home, thank your parents, thank your uncles, thank all those who have helped you, and thank you for being here to thanking the American amazing spirit of democracy and freedom that let our family thrive for so many years to come. Come on, do it. And also, of course, have a commendation with the Board of Supervisors signed by all 5 of us. I'm not going to read all the whereas and present this along with Cindy Chavez.
And at this time, I would like to invite State Senator Dave Cortese as well as State Assembly Ash Kara to come on stage.
Kin Chao Kui. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. It's officially afternoon, which means I should be very brief, and so I will. First of all, thank you, Loc Vu and the board of directors for this great recognition. I didn't get a chance to speak after being given the medal, and it means a lot to me. It means a tremendous amount to me. Whatever I have done, whatever Cindy Chavez and these other leaders have done, including our fine congressional representatives, our former congressmen, it's been done out of love. I want to reassure you of that in case there's any doubt in your mind. Our love for the community has spurred us to make sure that there's an ongoing thank you from us at every level of government to all of you. We appreciate your gratitude. I do want to mention very quickly that when I arrived, Nam Pham was speaking, and I want to say very quickly thank you to him for organizing the very first Thank You America events on behalf of IRCC. Thank you all. I'll pass it to our Senator.
Kin Chao Kui, Toila Ashkalra. I'm very proud to be your state assembly member. And I want to thank IRCC and the Vietnamese American community for recognizing these 4 extraordinary leaders who are my friends, partners, role models in service. And I want to thank you for putting on this thank you event. As an immigrant myself, it allows me the opportunity to reflect as well. My father and his family, they lost everything in 1948 during the partition in India and had to rebuild as refugees in their own country. And when I reflect on his journey, it very much, in many ways, parallels